AskReddit by Iridescent 126. What was the saddest fictional character death for you? Stoic the Vast. How to Train Your Dragon. Dude literally just reunited with his wife after over 15 years of being gone and spends a total of about 15 minutes with her. Cause of death: basically took a bullet in the chest to protect his son. I saw it in theaters and a bunch of kids started to cry. Not like sniffing but out loud wailing. It added to the atmosphere. Those little shoes in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Forgot about that one. Watching those little guys get dipped was the worst. Raw in Blade Runner. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the town hall as a gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die. All the more incredible when you find out that Rutger Hauer made it what it was. Ridley Scott wrote something kind of cheesy, so Hauer fixed it. https:// to thestory.blade-runner-dialogue-analysis-ff0e3066A7630 close bracket. Arthur Morgan from RDR2. Just seeing him slowly dying on the hill pleading to Dutch, but Dutch just walking away leaving him to die was heartbreaking. Fuck Dutch and Mika. The dogs in Where the Red Fern Grows. Came here to say this. This book destroyed me in grade 5 but also really demonstrated grief in such a profound way. The Iron Giant. Superman. Pops from Regular Show. He was the literal embodiment of good and he died saving the universe from and with his brother. He was such an innocent and friendly guy who was kind to everyone he met. I still tear up seeing the finale to this day. Edit. His last words to Mordecai and Rigby especially hurt. I know you're sad, but I promise this is a good ending. Take care of each other. Goodbye. Definitely not jolly good. Saving Private Ryan has two of the saddest, most brutally gut-wrenching deaths I've ever seen on screen in Wade and Mellish. Wade trying to talk the guys through his injury that goes from panic and terror to acceptance of his own death as he cries out for his mother and says I want to go home. Jesus Christ. Mellish is brutal for all the more uncomfortable and raw reasons you'd imagine. War is horrific. Young men are sent off to die and their lives are cut short for no reason. It's tragic and heartbreaking and this is one of the only movies to really nail that feeling. Wade was guy with a stomach wound after getting hit by the mounted MG, right? I remember having nightmares about that scene for weeks. Henry Blake. MASH. The scene in the operating room. The actors weren't told about it, just called back for one last scene shoot and Radar walks in and tells them. The silence is amplified by the sounds of instruments still working. Haunting. Piggybacking off this, the guy they tried to keep alive so his kids wouldn't remember Christmas as the day their dad died. That one gets me just thinking about it. Bubba in Forrest Gump. That whole scene had me wrecked. From Bubba's week, I wanna go home, to Forrest's narration saying he died by that river in Vietnam while showing him holding Bubba. Goddamn, I'm crying just thinking about it. Bubba died. Right there by that river in Vietnam, and that's all I have to say about that. Brooks, Shawshank Redemption. It was just so damn sad to see someone so heavily institutionalized. And honestly, I didn't even realize what was happening in that scene until after he had already carved Brooks was here into the beam. It gets me every time. Poor Jake. The world went and got itself into a damn hurry. John Coffey in the Green Mile. There's a passage in the book, around the time Paul and Brutal and Harry take John to see Melinda Moose, when they pass through the room that houses the electric chair and John remarks about old Sparky and how he can hear voices coming from it, screaming. After religiously watching the film and reading the book a handful of times, it hurts so much to know John has to ride the lightning in that same chair, despite being a being of pure light and magic. He's one of King's all-time great characters, a simple, unassuming creature of mythical power, tender wisdom, and infinite generosity. Ellie from Up gets me every time. Sometimes I wonder how movies ever took off when the first ones were short with no sound. Then I remember the time a 10-minute animation with no dialogue absolutely wrecked me. It's a goddamned masterpiece and I hate it. He can't see without his glasses. Goddamn bees. Littlefoot's mother's death. My son fell in love with this movie when he was 3 or 4, and every time that part would come on I would have to leave the room because no matter what age I am, I will always get emotional. Something about the music and the overall vibe that really just punches me in the gut. Fives. He was so close to stopping Order 66, but nobody would believe him. I'm literally so attached to the clones. Every single death was just rough. I mean hard case, Waxer, fucking Jesse, Echo, Heavy, 99. Jesus. That whole show was rough. Gwen Stacy hitting the floor. As a diehard Spider-Man fan since childhood, I knew it was coming, and I'm so glad they incorporated her death into the film because it's one of the defining moments for Peter's character in the comics, but that didn't make it any easier to watch. I'm pretty sure my wife audibly gasped when it happened. Wilson from Castaway. What an amazing film. That a volleyball made me cry. Boromir. My brother, my captain, my king. They took the little ones. Tadashi Hamada from Big Hero 6. Dude was working on a robot to help others and died in an attempt to help others. What a guy. Someone has to help. Leslie Burke, Bridge to Terabithia. I didn't expect it at all. It said family fantasy and was made by Disney. OMG, this one broke me. Totally unexpected and damp. My daughter was around the same age at the time. Loved the film, but I'll never watch. Still hurts all these years later. Brandon Fraser's characters in Scrubs. Where do you think we are? Attacks. I swear that horse dies earlier and earlier each time I watch the movie. He's gonna die in the opening titles before I know it. But much like Leslie in Bridge to Terabithia, the death is so much worse in the book. In the book, the horse freaking talks while he's dying. He describes how pointless it is to continue and how he wants it all to end. I didn't think I could be re-traumatized by a fictional death, but there you go. Moss Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. His funeral always hits me so damn hard. Mommy, why are they putting daddy in the ground? He has a lot of work to do. Fuck you. Just fuck. Matthew Cuthbertan of Green Gables. Watch, pilot of the Firefly class Serenity. He's a leaf on the wind. Kurt's Joss Whedon's sudden yet inevitable betrayal. Mufas's death gets me every time. I just watched Lion King with my daughter and I knew the scene was coming and I was worried it would be too hard on her. When Simba is like, you gotta get up, I was like, NVM, this is too much for my hormone lass. The Iron Giant will always have me ugly crying when he goes up to stop the missile. Uncle Iroh singing to his dead son. Damn, now that was sad. Especially because even when asked, his replacement refused to sing the song because it was Mako's song. Not Penny's boat. Oh, Charlie. That was such a tough one. Also, Sun and Jin, in that other boat.